Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku was the father of our beloved and Larfleeze. So, I had a lot of time thinking about it and making the script about it, where I he was basically he be like, I could have just been like, okay, down the greedy way, but that's okay. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the what if. And I am adding zooming to the his what if, but I'm also adding the Larfleeze's mother from the the origins of Larfleeze. Let me look her up, shall we? It is right. No. This one. So, yeah, I copied it. No. Dang it. English, please. Arflem. That I looked it up, so that's why I knew that I copied. So, I'm adding his mother to it. So, let's jump right into the what if. Normally, it's Zuko and Zumi been born and all that stuff. So, let's say Zuko had a quirk of flame healing. Basically, it's flame regeneration instead of like a normal, typical one. It's a combine of fire manipulation and regeneration. So anything that he produces, he's basically immortal if he's around fire. So that makes Todoroki's left side, the one with the flames, much more helpful to him. So, yeah. But, gosh darn it, I forgot why. There's a backstory to it, too. Because in this alternate timeline, Orange Lanterns have not even been created yet. Gosh dang it, I forgot. Even Green Lanterns weren't created before. So, yeah. So now let's, yeah. So, without further ado, let's continue. So, let's say they were at the age of 5 years old. And I keep going back and forth. Larflem, what is an alien that she came from outer space and she went to the Earth and she disguised herself as a human because she wanted to stay away from like all the violent stuff to find peace. So she goes to Earth and she disguised herself as a Earth person, like basically a female human. And so, but she was just a toddler before. But she's been on Earth for a long time. So yeah, she had a humongous crush on Zuko before. And one day when they were at age of 5, or should I say they were still at age of 5, Bakugo was giving him crud, and he accidentally whacked him, like bumped him into that same girl that I was just on. Yeah. But she didn't, or you know how she, if you guys have seen the anime called Big Order with this blue-haired girl with like bunny ears that's tied up on top of her head, and you know that one scene where the main character was trying to like swat her like ears away to see what's going on, but he ends up grabbing them before, and she went from being that type of scene. You know, I was gonna include the picture of what I mean trying to say, but no, I chose not to. So that's why it's like that same instance, but instead of him grabbing like her ears things, he accidentally bumped into her, and as he turned around and he apologized to her, and as he looks at Bakugo and tells him that you pushed me into her, so hey, yeah, and hey, don't blame me. So, but they didn't realize that single bump into her caused her to become, I'm trying to word it without being super weird. You know how like she becomes like pregnant because some random guy just grabbed her ears, the bunny ears that they're on top. So yeah. So so she basically got pregnant from that one single bump. He didn't even mean to. It just he bumped into her, like elbow hoed. And then so as he apologized, because it's so Bakugo pushed him into her. Not super weird about it. So, yeah. So then yeah. So, the couple days, let's do a time skip to 15. And so, so she went to the hospital before because she gave, or actually the court doctor was helping her through that labor stuff, and yeah, she was about 7 years old. And no, it's not like rapist type of thing. It's more of a like smack somebody hard, earn it in the face with your bare hand, and yeah, that type. So I'm just clarifying this up for you. So Bakugo pushed Zuko into her, and then he didn't mean to, or actually Zuko didn't mean to bump into her. And then so yeah. So she gave birth at age of 7 because of couple, or so basically a time skip. So she's basically gave birth to Larfleeze, and this is what Larfleeze looks like. Yeah. So Larfleeze is basically this guy right here. He has the same thing, but with a different motive. Let's say that. He basically, but instead of him being on, or be born on where his species was at, he was born on Earth. So yeah. So then after that, Zuko didn't know that he was because it was an accident that caused him to, yeah. So, yeah. So then so Zuko walks around, and he's walking with his sister around, and she was actually friends with her. Haven't you talked to her recently? Oh, No. And maybe Bakugo decided to do something with her. Yeah. But I also know that I know he pushed you into her, so who knows? He probably having a regret about it. Or probably she hasn't talked to you either, so. So, basically, so he goes in to a home and one day, or so, the next day, he gets up, he walks over, because let's say they were near the forest. I'm not saying fort, I'm saying forest. That means more than one tree. And so he goes into the mountain, and because he's usually like, awakened person before, like he's always wake up before everybody. And so he looks around and he sees a green battery. And what's next to or actually, he sees a green battery, like a Green Lantern's power battery with a power ring. As he joins, as he Green Lantern ring puts onto his finger, as he turns into the Green Lantern Zuko. Because he puts on the ring and he got chosen. Because he's actually the first Green Lantern. Because, yeah. So he keeps it hidden. And so, yeah, so then the time skipped to 15. I probably said that, but yeah. So he goes to UA. As he has many abilities. Like one is... sorry. He has one ability that is more powerful than anything. And so his sister and him were just joining UA. But his girlfriend, she's a friend to them. But she hasn't seen them in a long time. Since after that incident. So, Zuko yeah. And All Might vs. All for One So I'm doing the time skip to All Might versus All for One and thing, and the so actually went a little bit back to the sports festival. So after the sports festival, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the entire Justice League asked Zuko to join them in becoming a first ever Green Lantern hero. As he says, sure. As he had two separate names. When he's by himself, like when he's using his quirk, he goes by Flame Healer, and then if he's wearing the Green Lantern ring, he would become Green Lantern Zuko. Or Green Lantern. So, yeah. Then So, Green Lantern Zuko joined the Justice League and all that stuff. He comes back and, so, All Might versus All for One. And they start having their battle, and All for One's about to get killed. Or, no, All Might was about to get killed, but the green construct of the wall appeared as he says, now, no need to hurt, no need to kill anybody. As All Might looks over, Zuko, get out of here. It's a fight between me versus him. Yeah, but I need to protect you from him anyways, because I know how this will turn out. So, All for One breaks out as Zuko's like, people like you should be. So he ends up taking him to a prison, and yeah, that stuff. So now we switch over to his girlfriend, or should I say his friend, because that he accidentally bumped into because of Bakugo, who pushed him into her. And so her son, he doesn't know how to transform into a human yet, so yeah, so this is what he looks like, but without the orange lantern stuff yet. So he's just called Larfleeze. And so he was watching Zuko on TV because he respects Zuko, and because he actually saw him as his favorite superhero, and yeah. So then he's getting older, and let's say he was. Okay, hold on. Let me think. Hold on. Let me do some math in my head. He was born when she gave birth to him when he was, or when she was 6 years old. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so he's 9 years old. So, if I did my math correctly, because she gave birth to him at age of 6, or maybe 7. Yeah, 6 years old. Or no, 7. Yeah, 7, 8. Yeah, 6 years old she was. And she gave birth to Larfleeze. And so he's about 9 years younger than. Yeah, so he's basically 6 years old when they. Yeah. From his own mother. So, but he learns how to, like, basically turn into a human. And so he basically, when he told, he really saves the day, doesn't he? Another, as he says, yes, son, he does. I know Zuko, or I know Green Lantern, that Green Lantern is actually, I know his real name is Zuko Midoriya. But I know that you're old enough, or older enough to basically, he say, or basically, as she says, it's time for me to say this. You ever wonder who was your father? Yeah, I've been wondering about that since I was just a kid. Well, as she sat down with him, your father, or that hero that you like so much, Zuko Midoriya, yeah, is your father. Edwin Larfleeze was like, wait, what? Before you freak out, let me tell you a whole story. Okay. As as she tells him that about that day that Bakugo pushed her, or Bakugo pushed Zuko into her, and that type of incident. And as when Larfleeze says, wait, so you're saying, was that a mistake? No, that's not. Because, funny enough, and she looks at him, funny enough, Actually, sorry, hold on. she, she actually said that she was in love with him. And he was, or, or actually, she says, you aren't a mistake. You're actually you're not, or you're perfect. So you're opposite of mistake. As she couldn't, or as he couldn't believe that, yeah. So then yeah. So after, or let's do a time skip. Not very long, but just a couple days later. Inko, Zumi, and Asashi leaves to go shopping, leaving Zuko at the house. And so he looks over, or he was just tidying up the house. It was basically 7 bedrooms, 2 baths, or no, 4 baths, and yeah, like a mansion kind. But he was just tidying up, and he looks over, and she hasn't talked to me, as he knows which person that he's talking about, her, for quite a while. Since after that day that Bakugo pushed me into her. As a familiar knock on the door. Her. Clunk, clunk. Let's see what it is. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So he says, hold on 1 minute. I'll be right there. As he's drying his hands off. As he or he walks up to the front door. He opens it. As he was shocked. Not shot. Shock. SHOCK. Just to make sure. Because this is what his face looks like when he saw her. Not his sister, but the Larfleeze. As he says, Larfleeze. It's been so long. Were you doing okay? Yeah. Or as invites both of them in. Because she had her son with her, so I know this is a daytime, or I know that's you were busy with being a pro hero and all that stuff, yeah. But before that incident, let's talk about the past first, okay? Did you know I had a humongous crush on you? As she's literally said that to Zuko's face. And when Zuko was like, wait, what? No. Huh. Yeah. Zumi actually, I as she knows that he didn't tell, or actually, or Zumi didn't tell Zuko that he was basically, or got crushed by her. So then Zuko ends up, I'm like, huh. Yeah, and sorry about the Bakugo pushed me into you, by the way. We were just playing around and yeah. Yeah, I understand. But you're the only and reason why I'm here is to confess how I'm feeling about you. As he turns away, were you upset with me that day or no? As she told him that she wants to marry him, him, and they were young and yeah. And so, yeah, so then when Zuko said, or when after she said that to him, he was like, wait, what? As he's like, as Zuko did not realize it until like, sure. And then he never actually had, it was a, yeah. So they basically went on a date before. But when he has noticed there was a young man right next to her, as he says, who is this fella over right next to you? Oh, him? He's Larfleeze. He is our pawn. Sorry about that. And yeah. So, sorry for that rude interruption. Because of the dogs. Yeah. So where were we? Oh, yes, I remember. So she was trying to say, because Zuko asked, who is this young man right next to you? And so she says, oh, this young man is Larfleeze. He is our son, actually. As when Zuko was like, wait, hold on, wait, what? I'm confused. Well, as she explains to him that that single bump that he did, or that Bakugo pushed him into her caused basically the moment it's like the big order of how, yeah. So, yeah, he's like, wait, so you're saying that Bakugo who pushed me into you, and you got pregnant from me bumping into you? How does that work? And so, then Zuko was like, huh, yeah. So, they've been dating for a long time. So, after that moment. And so, after Zuko gets realized what he just witnessed and heard, he was like, huh. And so his own son, he was looking away before, but Larfleeze was too embarrassed. Or actually, he thought he was about, or no, Zuko was gonna be like disappointed that in her and all that stuff. But then Zuko walks up and hugs his own son. Like he says, huh. And yeah, I'm not mad. But I'm glad. I'm the opposite of it. And when he should have you around, actually. Really? Yeah. So and what I heard from her, and you're not a disappointment, or you're not a mistake. But keep it under wraps until he'll leave. Okay? So then the time skip to 18. And Zuko, or should I say Green Lantern Zuko and her got married. I mean, finally. And then he starts now calling him his father because, yeah. And stuff like that. It's always heartwarming to, like, make these what ifs. Because I always think of. Okay? So, please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, and yeah. And what happened to Bakugo and Zumi during all that time? Well, Bakugo and her were dating each other's. So, yeah. And Momo and Ochako gets married to Todoroki. And yeah, stuff like that is crazy. I was gonna put her, Zumi, with Grapefruit Kid, but I know that Grapefruit Kid is probably like gonna be super weird in this what if. I even thought about putting Ochako with Grapefruit Kid at one point. But then, when I was making this script or this story, but then I was like, no, that's also too weird. Because that's how much he gets smacked around. I love the parts where he just gets smacked in the face or like sending him flying around. Yeah. Much more. So, without further ado, let's continue. So Larfleeze, or Zuko actually became a first Green Lantern, and so he basically walks up to he asked his son, and I know we all of us in the entire galaxies has greed in us, but don't let it control you. As he walks with him, as he says, I kept this one specially till one day to choose a right person and to handle this much power. But there's only one thing that everyone does have. That's as he trusts. Or so his own son actually says, so you're giving this orange battery to me? Yeah. Because I know that one thing that you do have that you don't need, it's called greed. It takes away all your emotion, every other emotion except for greed. So, but you already have one. Okay, you'll be the first green, but never forget. Hint. Never forget. Hint. Then me and your mother, her, are still your family. So ready? Yeah. As he just puts it on the orange lantern ring, and he says the enchant just like what Zaku is said. So then Larfleeze becomes the first orange lantern. Just like how Zuko is the first Green Lantern. If you guys want me to do a what if Deku was the Orange Lantern, let me know in the comments below. I'll do it. So, yeah. And the reason why I'm doing these parts of what if Deku was like certain things is because, yeah. So, let's continue. So, one day in this storyline, a red lantern comes out of nowhere. He's just some minion that wants to capture the orange lantern's battery. And Zuko was on the scene already, and he's blocking the attacks, and so his own son comes with him as the Larfleeze, the Orange Lantern, actually helped his own father out. Huh. As you can, he did a lot of research on different cores, like what they represent. And Batman's like, interesting. So if we rip off the finger of or if we take the ring off of this henchman guy of the Red Lanterns, he would die from it? Yeah. So then his mother was there cheering him on. So then when she heard that Red Lanterns, certain ones will die from that stuff. So, yeah. So Zuko actually creates a jail cell that cancels out the Red Lanterns' power ring without removing it. And they're like, man, you're pretty good. Yeah. So, as Bakugo's like, yeah, so you did a lot of research on these lanterns. Yeah. Certain ones represent, like, certain emotions. One of them represents anger, the one that we just battled is called rage, as a Red Lantern says. Yeah, it replaces or certain emotions with exact ones. So, like, basically, yeah. So, if Bakugo was in the DC Comics universe and he got chose by one of the lanterns, would be called Red Lanterns. Because, yeah, boom, 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 boom. As he's always such a hothead, so. So then basically, yeah. Todoroki's like, so what else? Besides me and my son, I represent will. He represents greed. Wait, so as they're like, wait, so you're saying, brother, as she says, wait, so green is will and orange is greed? Yes. Like, basically, as Larfleeze is like, yeah, it's basically, we all want, like, certain stuff. That's mine, kind. And I already picked who would be pretty good if it was in DC Comics crossover thing. The Grapefruit Kid, the Manetter, I forget how you pronounce his name. Was, yeah. think. Trying to think. Give me a minute to. That scares me. No. This one? No. Well, if you guys know which character that I'm talking about, the one with the purple hair, or like basically his quirk is that like every time he basically pulls a ball from his head, top of his head, and he throws it. Grapefruit Kid. Yeah. So imagine putting him in that category, but instead of like money or treasure stuff, he would probably take over the world and have all the girls instead. Yeah, I don't want to be that kind of person. So yeah. And Zuko explains that there's also yellow lanterns that represent fear. And purple, and pink. Like, he goes down the line of which ones. So they're like, wait, so all of... Wow. So all of the colors of the rainbow plus black and white or more represents life or death thing? Man. As he became three things: a best pro hero, teacher, and a father, basically. So then and so he has those underneath his belt. He has experience with certain ones. So they all agree that Zuko having three categories of hero, teacher, and a father of... Yeah. A Green Lantern has a Orange Lantern as a son is a whole can of worms that would be like... Yeah. And first of all, let me explain this to you. Because I know that you guys are flying towards the keyboard of how did Zuko know to go into a cave and find two separate, like, green and orange batteries with their separate rings? Well, let's just say Zuko was walking one day when he was only 3 years old or playing around, and he finds two separate cores. And both of them talked to him about which path would he choose to be, a hero or a person. or greedy person. So he chose to be a hero. And then all that stuff happens. So, I think this is going to be the end of the What If. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. And I hope that you guys enjoy this What If. And peace out.